All right, so the match is getting started here. We're getting ready to go. First match of Team Sleepy versus Team Being OP is Hard.
I really hope to see that Mass Invis used in a cool way. Rather than just doing it in combat, I'd love to see surprise attacks with it. Maybe around a corner, you're Invis, and you just come out of nowhere. That would be really interesting.
So we saw a pretty big majority of buffs being thrown out here on Team Sleepy as well as on the blue team. So there wasn't really a standard like 1 or 2 buff stack like we see on EU. This is a pretty standard, and I was big up to see the splits here. We see red team going for a very aggressive early push here over to Henge. Looking at ZZZ Shan at the moment on the point fighting. Oh, and he gets destroyed there by the blue team. Nice job. Ovi also goes down as well, but he does get res there. Nicely done. So again, we're seeing here on North America, I've usually been casting EU matches, but we're seeing here pretty nicely how over here on North America, teams die a lot faster. There's a lot more squishy builds in play here. Definitely seeing the difference in the meta already. And it looks like ZZZ is actually going to get pushed off here pretty early. And again, as I predicted before, ZZZ Folly is going to be going for the middle point. He's backing out now, as it seems they have failed their early rush here onto the far point, unfortunately for them. But as I predicted, Folly is actually going to be their midpoint defender, and he's now falling back to back point. But that was interesting to see there.
Yeah, I kind of expected that. You know why? Because I see the blue team being really good at defensive, and when they come together on a point like that, it's just going to be the defensive team's favor.
Yeah. So we're looking over here at ZZZ Lily now, who is on the point. She's got a lot of conditions on her, and she's already had to use pretty much all of her cooldowns, including her Sanctuary, to keep herself alive. That was a very nice condition push there by blue team. So he's unfortunately going to be without help here for the next couple seconds. We are seeing the Ranger coming now, but again, he was running a pretty defensive build, so he's not really going to add much to the offensive push, just really be another damage soaker for the time being. Oh, and again, Folly and Lizzie just get bursted down by the blue team. That really is hurting them. And they're just getting, as we're seeing here, the HGH coming to play. Actually, we're seeing Nothing's build coming to play pretty nicely here. It seems as though that condition build, I'm looking at him now, is just obliterating the blue team, eliminating any chance of them getting up at all. And they have secured 2 points now pretty safely.
Yeah, what I found interesting there was that they actually completely 5v5'd that point. They left mine and Henge to be completely uncontested. If there was one person there, if the team had predicted maybe that they wouldn't have won that, they could have taken a node for free.
Yeah. So then we are seeing both teams fall into a little more of a defensive position for the time being. We are seeing them sort of group up now and head into the middle. Both teams are sort of trying to get over there, but it looks like blue team's going to be the initial advantage here. Oof, this actually could hurt a little bit. As we're seeing here, blue team might get cut off when I look at this point of view. And let me go over to him. Looking at Nothing again, his point of view with the interesting, pretty different NG build. We're actually seeing the NG on NG fight now. Nothing actually appears to be very squishy. He's one throw of the grenades from Ostrich. He went down. However, blue team did a nice job and just took down Ostrich with no trouble whatsoever. So he's out for this team fight. Blue team is currently up by about 50 points. They hold 2 points steady. However, it looks like Henge has just been decapped over here. So nicely done there.
Seeing the red team is extremely afraid to get on that point because of their defensive power. They do have cooldowns up, though. Cutie does still have Moa.
Yep.
And Skirix is going down a little bit. He's about half health, but he's not being focus fired, and red is being completely pushed off that point.
Yeah. Red really, unfortunately, blue team just has a lot of AoE, and it because of the general squishiness we're seeing here from Team Sleepy, they really can't do much to avoid that unless they all come in from separate points. We are going to see now. This was a bit of an, in my opinion, unnecessary move. They pulled back 4 of their guys to defend 1 point. I don't know if that was just out of fear, but it seemed that was a little bit just excessive to do that.
With the fact that they only have 1 node right now, that is not a tactical move to be making.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So we're looking again. So they are going to recap. It was decapped. That was my bad calling that. We do have 1 member of Team Being OP is Hard currently on the point. However, looking again over here to Ostrich, he's going to come on. And unfortunately, he's pretty squishy. So, or Wacky Bruce is what seems to be the tankier one. And he's doing a pretty nice job of negating these conditions. So we're seeing, yeah, look, he just completely cleansed all of them. And because they have no Necro or just anyone to cleanse conditions, those conditions on Bruce is going to be pretty easy to throw, and he's not really going to have to worry about a Necro destroying that.
Of course, not to mention that Mesmer doesn't have null field, so...
So there really is a nice job there, Bruce, playing these enemies comp and sort of realizing there that, hey, I can stack as many conditions as I want because it's never really going to be against me. So, but however, red team has taken him down here, as we see, as well as nothing. So it looks like red team did make a nice little tactical push, and they were able to take that. We are also seeing them play offensive here at Henge. I'm looking at Lily's point of view. So again, we're actually seeing, to my surprise here, I was expecting Lily to play your standard middle guardian that we see a lot, just being defensive and holding that point, being a little paperweight for it. He's playing pretty offensively with his staff, which is a nice choice actually, because his line of warding is going to be able to keep them off the points keep them off points initially. So. Definitely a different choice, to say the least. And they are going to hold 2 points to no points at all for OP right now, so they may come back.
Yep. Came to those tactical strikes, and Red's offensive power, not being sleepy and killing people, were able to get 2 points. As long as they get the attack on someone, they're going to be able to take points.
Now, Folly just went down and he was res. I think this was a bit of a testament to the fact he's running Healing Spring instead of Troll Unguent. I think Troll Unguent, basing it on the things he's doing right now, would have been a better choice here. So he is going down a lot, but his teammates are doing a nice job resing him. And we just saw a portal. Looks like it went back over to mine now. Where did it go? That portal went back to middle, actually, so nice job there defending that. So ZZZ is actually turning this around here. They have taken the lead back. Nice. They've gotten a nice little defensive hold. It just took them a while to get it. And they are now in the lead.
Yeah, on top of that, 2 to 3 of ZZZ have actually gone to mid, and this Guardian cannot, Bruce cannot take that amount of power. So
he's going to be forced off the point. He's going to try and do a little bit dance here, as we're seeing from Ostrog's point of view at the moment. But unfortunately, he's not going to last long. Nice move there, him dying on the point instead of dying over here in this area. So he's going to hold that condition for another, 1 to 2 seconds. It'll save his team a bit of time. Team being OP as hard is actually going to try and steal the red team's boss. So a bit of a... I'm actually surprised they were able to get everyone over here that easily. So they got everyone over there and just took their... Yep, they did get it. So nice job there. They did steal the other team's boss. And they also got mine from them. We are seeing Folly as a forward defender. So again, we were seeing him again. So we're seeing a bit of like a push forward, as I'll call it now, from what we usually see from these defensive builds. Usually you'll see a ranger sort of hanging out back point, being a little more defensive. Whereas in this one, he has a pretty nice build for being offensive for these one-on-one skirmishes on far point, sort of keeping Team OP on their toes here.
Yeah, if Blue's going to have a chance right now to be OP, then this is their chance, because they do have that buff right now.
And we do see a 3 cap at the moment for Team ZZZ.
Not working out.
I'm looking at Greenleaf, actually. Yeah, and they are going to decap middle point. I'm looking at Greenleaf. We haven't looked at him yet. He's running 3 meditations, so it's interesting to see. He's definitely a little more offensive. And we're seeing the damage. It just seemed in general that the blue team was going for heavy AoE, and it's working at the beginning of the fight. However, these little skirmishes, 2-on-2s and whatnot, aren't really going to do that. They need to stick together as a 5 and push these points all together, because that was their strong suit early game. And we're now seeing that sort of play against them now.
Yeah, I was going to say that if Team OP can get 2 points, they're going to hold 2 points, but that is exactly not what happened.
We just saw Ostrog's get res there. Nice job by the red team. They're really good with those reses, actually. I'm actually pretty surprised at some of these reses they've been able to get off. And they are going to get him. Skrix just got bursted pretty hard with Condies. Ostrog's does have a lot of Condies on him, however, so we are going to see him push it down. Skrix is going to go down. Wacky Bruce is also getting low. He's going to die in a corner. Skrix was res, however. Nice job of playing those defensive cooldowns there by Barrett Greenleaf. And there now, actually, it looks like Red's still holding pretty steady on this point, and they have recapped it, so they are again at a 3 cap. Team Sleepy only 100 points away from winning the first out of 3 matches here.
Not a moment too soon as well.
And it looks like blue team's gonna go white. So this is interesting. We saw it seems unfortunately that Team OP is almost entirely reliant on 5-on-5 team fights. Because as we see now, when they tried to go 3, red team just completely outclassed them and took out 3 members at the same time, which is going to be huge now for Team ZZZ, because they're knocked out of the match for the next 15 seconds. 3 of their players are, and they're more than likely going to wipe these other 2 over here at the Henge as well. Alright, so we're seeing a little bit more. We're looking at Folly at the moment, the sort of defensive guardian here on Team Sleepy, holding it off. And it seems that last team fight we have actually seen GG's called, so Team Sleepy is going to take the first round. Nice job to Team Sleepy. So
wow.
It was interesting to see there that complete turnaround. Like we saw at the beginning, like 2 or 3 times Team Sleepy was just wiped beyond control. But then they did a nice job, because blue team made the mistake of splitting. They need to realize now that their strong suit is playing these 5-on-5 team fights. And Team Sleepy took that to their advantage. So a nice job being played by them.
Yeah, that was pretty remarkable. We showed the signs that 5v5 blue can win, and because that henge point, that was a whole 5-on-5 battle, and they lost that. Red actually lost that, so they got their points from that. I'm really surprised to see that Red pulled it together and actually used their offensive power to take some points and claim it. That blows my mind.
All right, guys. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break here for 2 minutes as we set up the next match, and we'll be right back in. I think I clicked on it.